On my 21st birthday, I welcome the opportunity to speak to all the peoples of the British Commonwealth and Empire, wherever they live, whatever race they come from, and whatever language they speak. I declare before you all that my whole life, whether it be long or short, shall be devoted to your service and to the service of our great imperial family to which we all belong. But I shall not have strength to carry out this resolution alone unless you join in it with me, as I now invite you to do. I know that your support will be unfailingly given. God help me to make good my vow, and God bless all of you who are willing to share in it.
The Queen is a vital part to England. I have two testimonies from two different English citizens. The first is from a Brenda Barbary. The Queen is a most wonderful figure and will go down in history as our best queen thus far, even better than Victoria and Elizabeth I. She has had the longest reign of any country, and of the 60-odd years she's been on the throne, she's never put a foot wrong. She is loved and respected by thousands throughout Britain and the Commonwealth. My second testimony is from Mr. Paul Barbary, and he said, "I hate to admit it, I'm a royalist. I think they are so fundamentally English. They are something to be proud of. We would be less English without them, and we would be just like everyone else." In times of crisis, like World War II, they are what brings people together. It's the calm, dignity, and courage that is the face of the crown and holds England together during difficult times. They are the exact symbol of the phrase, keep calm and carry on. So why do we need the monarchy? What makes them so vital to the United Kingdom? The people of the United Kingdom are starting to shift their opinions against the monarchy for several reasons. First of which is cost. Many people think the monarchy is far too expensive, and I have a quote from the Canadian press. Buckingham Palace's latest annual report indicates that maintaining the monarchy costs each taxpayer about 65 cents per household, which is about 85 US cents. They are cheaper than other heads of state, especially with republics. In 2017, the presidency in the US cost $1.4 billion. According to the Evening Standard, the crown only costs 32.3 million pounds. The monarchy brings in mass amounts of tourism, as well as the monarchy adds to the English economy through marketing and brands. According to an article by Jonathan Chu, according to the brand consultancy Brand Finance, the royal family is set to make a net contribution of £1.15 billion to the UK economy. My second point is tradition. England would not be England without the monarchy. England has one of the longest running monarchies of the world, ranging well over 1,000 years. According to Taranaki Daily News, we can learn something from the ideas of the past that we stand on the shoulders of giants. It's also very important to understand what they stand for. Also, according to the Taranaki Daily News, it reminds us of our former greatness. It informs us of something greater than ourselves. Finally, the aging population loves the Queen because she has been with them through many decades and through many major events. The last thing people have a misconception about is what the Queen does. Many people think she is just a figurehead, and that is incorrect. Her many duties consist of being head of state. She has the power to appoint or dismiss the Prime Minister. She has power to open Parliament every season, power to declare a war or peace. She has the power to regulate civil service, power to ratify treaties, and she is the head of the Church of England and the head of the armed forces. Since the Queen is head of state, it allows for the English government to run a lot more smoothly. She handles much of the ceremonial duties, leaving all of the political duties and policies to the Prime Minister. In other countries, heads of state can come and go fairly frequently depending on term limits and other factors. The Queen alone has had over 10 prime ministers in her time. Therefore, she is a figure that has given England much needed stability throughout the years. How does this relate to you? This will affect you because it determines how England runs as a country. If the monarchy was to be abolished, it could drastically change the course of history. There are many people from the United Kingdom and with English descent, as well as there are many people throughout the Commonwealth, because it makes up 20% of the world's landmass. There are many solutions out there that are already in place, one of which is modernization of the monarchy. A quote from the National Review says, "The intelligentsia attacks the monarchy. It demands that it justify itself by being modern and popular. It must no longer hold itself aloof from the population, but partake of its tastes, however low they may be." An example of a policy that they did to modernize the monarchy is the Crown Succession Act of 2013, which means basically no matter if it's a male or a female born to the heir, no matter what their gender is, they can become heir to the throne. To continue, the Queen voluntarily began paying taxes. According to the Canadian press, Elizabeth voluntarily agreed to start paying taxes in 1992 after she was harshly criticized in the tabloid press for her continuing tax exemption. These solutions are somewhat working, but the problem is there's only so far that you can modernize this institution. They are an institution based on traditional values, and there's only so much you can take away from them. The solution is it's important to get the younger generations to understand the importance of the crown, as well as William as king could make a huge difference in the popularity of the monarchy. The crown is misunderstood by younger generations. Much of the population of England is the elderly. From the Office of National Statistics, the population in the UK is getting older, with 18% over age 65 and over, as well as Diana helped to make the monarchy incredibly popular. In order to do this, we need to publish more true facts and actualizations about the monarchy for the media and the younger generations. We need to run opinion polls, release more media with factual articles and figures about the crown, use media orientated towards the young, such as social media and internet articles, and finally release statements directly from the palace itself. And then when William takes the throne, he should make the monarchy more popular. And this is because he is Diana's son, and she was the people's princess. By doing lots of charity work, it will endear him to the people of England and of the Commonwealth. He's a lot more down to earth, and as well as he is young, just like the younger generations, therefore he can relate to them more. This will work because if the younger generations understand the truth behind the monarchy, they are less likely to dislike them. Diana was a great success, and thus William, her son, will be as well. All right, and so he already does a lot of charity work. Therefore, when he becomes king, he's bound to do a lot more for the country. Objections people may have is they may believe the information is not true or false. So I'd say to go to sources that are more reliable, such as unbiased sources such as the BBC, general increased exposure to the monarchy, statements coming specifically from the monarchy itself. A second objection is that William will become too much like his mother and unknowingly get caught up in politics. Since he was brought up under his grandmother, he should already know that being part of the crown is all about rules and regulations, and he probably will not step out of those bounds. He will end up having his mother's popularity with an air of deliberate aloofness and dignity from his grandmother. All right, can you imagine a world where the monarchy got abolished? If the monarchy was ever to get voted out, it would cause catastrophe. The government would lose mass amounts of money, whether it be from the monarchy taking back what is theirs, and the loss of merchandise surrounding the royal family. Tourism would decrease. The government would be less efficient, for now the head of state would have to take up all the duties the monarchy was responsible for, and a new head of state would be more expensive than just keeping the old monarchy. Finally, thinking can only get the world so far. Let's talk about what each of us can do. It is vital to support the crown. You should shoot down misconceptions about the monarchy. You should post positively on social media about them, and you should also partake in polls to raise the favorability. Would you want your entire life's contributions towards your country and people, as well as endless amounts of work for little pay and have little recognition? Would you sign up for a life's commitment to duty and strict rules? The Queen is 92 and still works daily for hardly any money to ensure the prosperity of her kingdom. According to the battered crown, you could argue that the Queen is the only head of state in the world who is actually paying for the privilege of doing a job that no one in her right mind would want. And back to that quote from the beginning, the Queen said on her 21st birthday, "I declare before you that my whole life, whether it be long or short, be devoted to your service and the service of our great imperial family to which we all belong."
I'm down.